Now, given the discrepancies between what Trump claims on social media and the reality on ground, like you have mentioned, do you believe that the U.S. president has a firm grip on what is going on? And how are Americans taking all of these?
No, he doesn't. And the gaps are massive and structural. So while Trump and his Epstein regime post one story, the public are seeing the real pictures on social media. The Manab school strike, that killed 168 innocent children, the universities bombed across Iran, the schools destroyed, the hospital, like the one in Tehran, heavily damaged. These are the acts of a rogue terrorist state. And the American public can verify everything themselves in seconds. That's why the old, believe what we say approach, it no longer works. Reality is streaming live. And whether anyone likes it or not, the president can't control it anymore. This is information asymmetry in action. So deep and decentralized truth beats centralized spin every single time.
Now, Iran has demonstrated both strength on the ground and significant geopolitical influence. Did the U.S. completely underestimate this?
Absolutely. And that overconfidence is fading fast by the day. The Islamic Republic of Iran has shown it can absorb pressure, just like how we saw in the talks in Islamabad, respond strategically, just like how we are witnessing as an immediate response to Trump's threat to the blockade, and still project real power across the region. The old days when Washington could dictate terms are over. Iran is winning this war simply by not losing, and with the law of asymmetry. Unlike Iraq, Afghanistan, or Vietnam, where the U.S. eventually lost and had to leave defeated after bleeding resources and political will, Iran is not like those countries. It is stronger, more resilient, and far smarter in both the physical fight and the information war. On the ground, Iran has activated its Mosaic defense strategy, 31 autonomous provincial cells. Each of them are independent, responsible for its own attack and defense. There's no central command to decapitate, no single headquarters to bomb. It's a decentralized dead man switch system. So if leadership is hit, the fight continues province by province. That structural resilience, combined with asymmetric tactics, cheap drones, missiles forcing, the expensive U.S. defenses to respond, means Iran decides when and how the war ends. And thanks to the information war we've been talking about, that same Mosaic principle applies to social media and content. Iran's message and strength are reaching millions directly. Just my accounts alone has reached 5+ million. America's traditional leverage, sanctions, threats, media dominance is disappearing. The underdog has rewritten the rules, and history shows how that's going to end.
All right. We have to leave it here now. Thank you, Mahdi Hemmat, Iranian legal cartoonist. Thank you so much for your time.